Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. Today we're going to be talking quickly about Network NET-VRK. So a couple of things here, of course, been absolutely phenomenal news recently around the metaverse, gaming in general. Of course, absolutely phenomenal projects out there from blockchain gaming perspective and the way that the world will go into decentralized as well as the centralized opportunities for gaming as well. But yeah, we covered Network around June. So I think it's literally one of the first few videos we did. I've actually been tracking Network since maybe February, March time. And I've made it clear on a couple of different videos really that it's the one that got away from me. And I think I always wanted to keep an eye on it, wait for it to come on to a new exchange, which it did quite recently, to be fair. For those that aren't that a bit like me, that couldn't be bothered or couldn't really work out at the time how to do things like Uniswap and those kind of platforms. For me, it's now on KuCoin. It's definitely something I'll be waiting for, hopefully, a correction. I mean, we're going a bit mad the last few days on gaming cryptos and metaverse related tokens, which we'll go into a bit more in a second. But if you haven't done so, go and check out our top 5 gaming cryptos that we picked out back in June. Because we do have a couple of other gems in there, some that have probably obviously transitioned quite a lot in price since this video, but it gives you an idea of why we picked them and why they're relevant. And we'll probably do an update one on the gaming aspect next week as well, because there's a lot more information since then, certainly from my personal experience as well as general knowledge, and also of course what's happened in the charts and everything. So go check that one out. And we do have a Network intro video as well, which we did a couple months ago also. So do go check those out if you want a bit more information on Network and why actually it's such a powerful opportunity and a great investment, both short term and long term. I mean, it was only 2 months ago. Obviously our channel wasn't massive at that point, so the views were obviously quite low on some of these. Even with Mana, they're all on our list. Incredible projects, so go check those guys out. But Network at the moment, of course, there's a couple of things. Of course, there's the metaverse topic in general, but in general for the actual Network application in the game, just a quick recap for everyone that doesn't know what it is. So essentially it's kind of like a building block foundation. You are able to essentially create your own world. So if you think like when you've got your like joystick things for if you're holding like a PlayStation VR unit or an Oculus or whatever, you have the ability to obviously move your hands around and things like this. So you can actually create your own worlds, your own landscapes, and you could start delving into purchasing land and real estate. And also they've got things like from the whole commercial aspect of advertising, branding is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's very early days, still building the platform, of course, and gearing towards that as well. Staking opportunities, but there's also things like right recently they're adding like transportation, so you can start buying vehicles and other transportation means as you go along as well. So just a couple of stats here really, guys. Look at this, 45 billion VR gaming market expected to grow to 45 billion by 2022. And I thought, like, years and years ago when I was a kid, VR units did come out. What was that, about 20 years ago, 15 years ago? And it just wasn't ready. And then 3D TV came out, and that was pretty terrible for a bit. Again, for like the third time in my history, I think. And quite recently, obviously VR the last couple of years have been massive, and I used to attend a lot of gaming events a few years back. Certainly when some of the real new concept gaming came out, I thought this is absolutely brilliant. Like, you've got people walking around the events with VR goggles, and they're scared because like they're playing zombie games. It's like absolutely incredible, taking yourself out of the equation. But technology will advance. Have like Omni treadmills and force like vests and things, so you can actually feel things. There's a multitude of things more to come, and this whole conversation around metaverse isn't new. Obviously, people have seen like films like Ready Player One, which is one of my favorite films, of course, of all time. But in general, the whole metaverse concept has been around for a while. You can see like Decentraland has obviously been a game in that vicinity for some time as a sandbox, albeit that not amazing graphics or anything like that, but the concept is there, and that's just another world, because the metaverse will be built up of so many different games and opportunities. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, guys, and I think this one in particular, I have got a chart on our trade view, but it's not long because it's using KuCoin, and that launched I think 13th of this month. So what I was going to do actually in this video in particular is just show you the movement. So as I was tracking I think Network before it launched, and then it launched around this sort of 40-50 cent from a token launch aspect. To be honest, I didn't really look too much into it up until when we did the video a couple of months ago for the intro of Network. And of course, you know, even back then the prices were absolutely phenomenal, really, way below the $1 mark. And now obviously we tracked quite recently, as of yesterday I think, to $4.52. That is massive gains, guys, in such a short space of time. Now for me, people now like, oh, what game ones should we jump into? It's kind of like, it's not too late, it's just obviously you've missed like a massive opportunity way back when the introduction of the things were being done on various channels, including ours. But for me personally, when it got to the 13th of October, of course that was the KuCoin launch, and you can kind of see that uptake here. I'll admit I wasn't even aware that it was coming onto KuCoin, so that's my fault on that aspect. But look at that uptake, even in general, almost a double of price. We had the retracement. Now if I'd known about that back then, I would have obviously jumped in, because I believe massive in this project. I think its current price, I'm not saying it's going to be short-lived. I think we're in a big hype situation right now in the last couple of weeks. You get a lot of people over the next few weeks or month or so getting bored because Metaverse is still in development. But you will get some really key people out there, like myself, when I eventually get in, that will hold just long-term, because, you know, 5-10 years time, when everything fully launches properly, and I mean mainstream properly, it'd be great to get in there. And the only reason I was going to get in early, once it got into a main exchange, was to try and buy land and everything, really, because you know, whatever people's feelings and thoughts are on living or playing in a virtual world, you know, from a monetary perspective, a massive, incredible investment, but just the sheer fun of it, I think. And that's what gaming's about. It's about engagement, enhancement of your mind in some aspects. And, you know, if you make money along the way, absolutely fantastic. But for me right now, obviously it's been a massive jump in the last 24-48 hours. I will be looking to see if this retraces a bit more. I could be completely wrong and see this absolutely fly up, because it is just in that momentum, and we might discover a completely brand new real price for Network. But I do believe that, my personal opinion, that because everything's so early, like I said, I think we're going to have a few people getting weak hands over the next few months or into the next year, and in that process until Metaverse is truly taken off. I think if you're not a gamer and you're just investing, of course you've got that aspect, you're not really interested in maybe buying land or anything like that, and you'll see a price fluctuation. So at the moment we're in a big hype stage for sure. That's the opinion that I would give out there to those that are thinking about jumping in right now, is just be conscious about the price points that we're at, where we have been in particular, certainly over a 2-3 month period, and then justify your investment right there, right now. Because obviously yesterday was a big jump in for a lot of people, and probably a lot of people are going to get quite disappointed because we started having the retracement already. And it's not a massive retracement, to be fair. I mean, $4.81 down to its current sort of price around $4.63, so it's not gigantic. But, you know, just be wary and just think about the concept of gaming as we move forward as well. And that's not taking away anything, because I was a massive Mana investor, and certainly was earlier this year. I sold it all at the top in the last sort of run that we had earlier in the year, and I didn't reinvest because I moved it into other areas. And I had the ambition in my mind to think, okay, well, it's still in development. I think I'll wait till a potential bear market or something to take some actual initial points. We'll have a Mana in the Sand video coming out later as well, just to finalize this sort of topic of Metaverse and gaming this week. But yeah, that's kind of where I see it. I do believe that, not necessarily short-lived, but I think we will see some kind of retracement and correction in some of these as the hype, you know, not necessarily dumbs down, because I think it's an exciting project. I think it's an incredible thing that's coming, whether you like it or not. There will be a decentralized version and a centralized version. We all know what centralized, probably around Facebook. I wouldn't touch that with a beanpole, but I would certainly be interested in the decentralized aspects of where you have more control and power and flexibility, and, you know, obviously within regulations and things within the games and the rules. But yeah, that's the route I would personally be going down. Otherwise, you're just in a not only a controlled real world, but you're also going to start getting into controlled virtual world, and you're just stuck in both worlds, aren't you? So guys, let us know if you are holding the Network token at any point this year, or if you've just jumped in recently. Congratulations for holding such an amazing project. I will be joining you once I feel confident enough that I'm going to not see an absolute dumping or potential wrecking situation for myself. So that's me personally. I'm not an expert in terms of the full chart spectrum. I think that that this could continue to fly up, and that once we have these small corrections, it might fly up even more because of the institutional investment coming in. That's the other thing to consider. So let us know where you are with that. But like I said, there's some really cool stuff coming out with Network before we wrap this video up. So we've got the transportation aspects, vehicles. Don't forget, if you are buying into this game on the investment side and you are looking at getting land, it's definitely a good time to start looking fully and get involved in that aspect, because there are massive things to come for this game. I truly believe it. And once all the the proper back end is built in properly, this is going to be unreal. Absolutely unreal, guys. So thanks for watching. Please make sure, if you like this content, that you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all our subscribers. We've smashed through 3,000. Let's get to 5 by the end of the year. That'd be absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next Network update, and we'll probably do at least one wrap-up gaming one in general every couple of weeks or so as we move into a new world. Thanks guys, bye bye.